This is the Chapters Rap live here in Deer Park, and we're coming to you really special. Tommy, what's going on here? Whoa, what? This is my first show. What are you doing?
Do you see this?
Yeah.
Do you see that?
Oh,
You made the graduation.
I
You're
know,
on TV now. You're not
I don't
on
need
radio.
this anymore?
Get rid of that garbage.
I don't need this.
You're live in 197 countries.
I don't need this. You sure?
Give me this
All
stuff.
right, take
God
that,
almighty.
take
And what's this other guy doing?
I don't
over
know. I
here?
don't know what's going on. Now I don't even know what's going on. We are not on radio anymore, and we're actually on TV. And Brian, I don't even know what to do anymore because we were supposed to start this whole thing off totally different. We're on live TV. Can you get our musician ready to go? Scott Martin. Is Scott here? I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't mean to start the show off like this. Scott, look, you gotta do me a solid, buddy. Come here. Look, come here. I messed up. I thought we were on radio. It's TV thing now, madhousetv.com, and I need you to fill in, just do a song real quick. Can you do that?
Yeah, sure.
All right, thanks, man. You up?
Yeah, but good.
Okay, all right, come on. All right, go.
It was minutes to midnight and the snow was falling fast. Looking at the future through a crystal champagne glass. There were sparkles on the ceiling and they danced across the floor as we faded into sunrise a little closer than before. When you and I had the world in our hands and our eyes open wide. Yeah, you and I. Here I am once again on the new year, my friend, at the top of the world and starting over again. 'Cause we live and we learn, but forget in the end all the things that we did, all the words we said. So pour me around, we'll drink it down. Maybe this year will be better than the last of hell. So sing it out for everyone to hear. Tonight's New Year. Tonight's New Year. Now it's minutes to midnight, it's just another day. So we rise and fall like empires, we still give ourselves away to the silence on the world, the sights and sounds of yesterday. Every photograph's an epitaph. Ain't it funny, ain't it strange how you and I had the world in our hands and our eyes open wide, and it was such a cruel surprise to find that we can't stop the time. Here I am once again on the new year, my friend, at the top of the world and starting over again. 'Cause we live and we learn, but forget in the end all the things that we did, all the words we said. So pour me around, we'll drink it down. Maybe this year will be better than the rest somehow. So sing it out for everyone to hear. Tonight's a new year. Now it's minutes to midnight and we're running out of time. Maybe our ghosts will live forever after we say our goodbyes. Yeah, you and I Here I am once again on the new year, my friend, at the top of the world and starting over again. 'Cause we live and we learn, but forget in the end all the things that we did, all the words we said. So pour me around, we'll drink it down. Maybe this year will be better than the rest somehow. So sing it out for everyone to hear. Tonight's a new year. After the break, we'll be right back with the chapter's wrap.
Galaxy Luxury Coach is a full-service limousine and party bus company. Family owned and operated, we are an industry leader with over 25 years of experience in providing best-in-class luxury transportation for your special event. Whether it's your precious wedding day, an all-day wine tour out east, your high school prom, that special birthday, or just an amazing night on the town, our professional chauffeurs stand ready to ensure your special event is truly special. Galaxy Luxury Coach has one of the largest and modern party bus fleets in the New York area. Our party buses are simply nightclubs on wheels. Concert sound systems, light shows, lasers and strobes, multicolor LED lighting brilliantly lights your party bus inside and out. For corporate and more laid-back events, we will cater to your specific needs and requests. What sets Galaxy aside from all others in the luxury transportation industry is our attention to detail in customizing our services to your special event. At Galaxy, it's all about you and your guests. Galaxy customers return time and time again because they know they can trust Galaxy to help deliver those lifetime memorable moments. Step aboard and let your Galaxy experience begin.
We are the Stylistics Review, and you're watching MadhouseTV.com.
This is Beth.
Hi.
Oh, congratulations. When are you due?
I'm not pregnant.
Oh, look at that. Excuse me.
You're totally thin.
You look very sexy.
For life's bleachable moments, all it takes is 3/4 of a cup.
You smell so good, I won't have to bathe the next 2 weeks. Anything. So, here, laugh a little harder. All right?
I will take him.
I would be proud to show you off, you little old weirdo man.
Get a new sweater. The worst dressed man here tonight. Right? Look, get that laugh, and get it in there tonight because nobody else is gonna laugh like her. She's under drugs, all right? You smell so good, I won't have to bathe the next 2 weeks. Anything. So, here, laugh a little harder. All right?
We are back here in the Chapters Wrap. Brian, welcome to the
Steve.
big leagues, buddy boy.
We're here.
We are
We're
here, and I'm so happy to be here at Madhouse TV. It's been exciting working with Tommy and Janine and everybody here on the crew. We want to thank them first for allowing us to have our show here, come to downtown Deer Park, and we're so happy to be here.
Absolutely. Let's have some words with Scott, though.
Yeah,
Great-
Scott
great
Scott was
music
amazing, amazing musician.
show. Right from
He-
a dead sleep.
Right from dead sleep. He came up, he jumped up on there. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. But we do this show because we want to help people out there. But Brian,
Right.
why do you want to be on the show now, and what brought us together?
Well, I think, well, you know what brought us together was a common core, common focus that we have. You know, we're from different backgrounds, and we bring a lot of different things, circumstances and so forth, but we have the same general core and sense of direction with helping other people. And that's what impressed me first time I met you, and I thought it'd be great to hook up and combine our efforts.
Well, you're a wonderful person and your family, but you're also an author. Tell everybody out there a little bit about your book.
Well, I very briefly, I wrote a book about my experience of dying in a hospital in Mexico some 20 some odd years ago, and what the experience was, and also what it brought to my life afterwards, you know, since then. And it's really amazing, and that's part of the reason that I'm doing what you're doing, and we're on the same wavelength with that, is some of the things that I took from that experience that changed my life and kind of gave me a certain purpose. I was looking for something to indicate why I was sent back, and yeah, I think I found it.
The book is amazing, and we've certainly been working together for the last year or so.
Yes, we have.
And it's an exciting time, but we're not always the same here. You know, look, I'm wearing a tie and a vest. You got a jacket and a shirt.
Well,
so we
yeah.
got a little differences
I think
between
you
you
took
and
the
I.
last tie out of wardrobe. I was looking for one, but you know.
I did
You must
take
have
it.
got the last
I
one.
did take it right out of Kohl's.
Yeah.
I was right out of Kohl's. I got the last tie there. But you know, I'm so excited because we're able to recreate everything we've done on the radio, but bring it to TV. So it's really exciting. We're going to have authors. We're going to have youth heroes. We're going to have musicians like Scott Martin. It's a wonderful time to come together. I want to thank you so very much for working together to get this thing off the road.
Well, thank you too, Steve. And you know, this brings us to another level, and it increases our audience. The more people we get to and reach, and so the more successful our mission will be.
Right.
And you've had some adversity in your life, and I certainly have had my share.
Right.
And I really think it's that adversity that's our common motivator for the work that we do.
Right.
And very satisfying.
Right. And some of the adversity that you went through, in your book, there's a picture of when you kind of had to have some surgery and right after the accident that you had. So it kind of, I don't know if we have the picture of it, but it kind of shows you in a kind of vulnerable state.
Yeah. Well, I know the picture that we have is after a couple of surgeries. I had my first surgery in Mexico, and they just kind of sewed my eye back up and stuck it back in my head and sent me on my way. But the picture that we have, and is also in the book,
Right.
is after a surgery here, after they fixed me, as I like to call it. So it's very mild by comparison. But you know, the story is more what happened afterwards, what I took from that experience, and being where I was, and some of the heightened senses that I got from it have allowed me really to to start this journey of helping others and kindness, goodness, call it what you will. And I think it's right in tune with where you are.
Right.
With your adversity.
So it's your adversity that kind of brought you to the book, but also to public forums where you can help share that feelings of maybe fear or different things that people go through, the human emotion, based on the adversity that you went through.
Yeah, well, the fear is the big thing. The fear is a big obstacle in many people's lives, in many facets of your life. Fear plays a big part. And, you know, you can go right down the line with it, whether it be, you know, fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of embarrassment. I mean, it just goes on, and it holds people back from many things.
Right.
And I've tried to adapt a life of, well, it's not completely fearless, but close to it. And I've proven it to myself over the last 20 years by approaching things that way. And they've been very successful, and it's validated it for me.
Right. And I think it's that adversity, because I too went through some adversity with my mom. We're going to talk a little bit about it when we talk about suicide prevention, because this show is all about, let's talk about suicide prevention. The Chapters Wrap really is a program where we want to bring other advocates to the show, bring what they have to say and the support that they give others despite their adversity, kind of like what you went through, and definitely what I went through with my own situation. And I think this is the kind of show that you and I could take to a different level, because there's so many people out there that have stories, either authors or musicians or artists or young people. It's so important to get their story heard and now seen on Madhouse.
Yeah, well, you know, as you've been doing is some combination of prevention, inspiration, and some recognition.
Right.
And I think that those things, you know, combine to create a recipe for success in treating the adversity in your life.
Right. And I think before we see Cindy Brett, Cindy is from Lido Beach. She's 14 years old. She's an amazing young lady. She's one of our youth heroes, and she's going to come on the show today. But the reason why this whole thing, the Chapters Wrap, started was after Sandy a couple of years ago. I was on a different radio show and had a little bit part in it. And but when Sandy hit Long Beach, all the musicians, like Scott, lost their gigs, lost their houses, lost their equipment, their instruments. So we had to do fundraisers to help Long Beach outside of Long Beach. And one of our first fundraisers was at Mulcahy's, and we did a huge show. And the whole staff there, we raised a couple of $1,000s, and we gave it back to the city of Long Beach. We gave it back to people in need, but it didn't really make a dent in anything, because Long Beach got hit hard, Island Park got hit hard. But to capture why I do what I do, Brian explained what he does. To capture it, there's a video here that I want everybody to see out there. Gracious Vine, who's a Christian band, put this video together for me after the storm when we were talking about Chapters Wrap and what I do, what the show does for so many people, and what Brian and I can continue to do from week after week and month after month from Chapters Wrap. So Gracious Vine is going to be here on October 31st. Put this video together, so check it out.
Bound and wet. know you already want a Toyota, but when you want more from your Toyota store, you want Smithtown Toyota, where every Toyota comes with Smithtown Toyota's Toyota for Life program, giving you lifetime New York State inspections, lifetime 10% discounts on all parts and service, 2 years of complimentary oil changes, 2 years of scheduled maintenance, and more, all at no cost to you, plus low clear-out deals on every Toyota in stock. Get more from your Toyota store. Hurry to Smithtown Toyota.
Welcome to Formula Auto Wash, where every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail centre. Hog's hair and microfiber brushes and mitts. Proudly using Ecolab Blue Coral soaps and waxes. Formula Auto Wash has served the community for over 30 years. Senior discounts all day, every day. Ladies' Day Wednesday, $3 off any wash. Early bird discount Monday through Thursday till 9:30 a.m. Check out our website, formulaautowash.com.
That was Kasha, and she's unbelievable. Kasha wrote the song Hero, and every time we have a youth hero on, we play her song, and she's going to be on a future show here on the Chaplain's Rap Madhouse TV, and we welcome her, and thank you so very much, Kasha. If you're out there, hello, how you doing? But we also have a youth hero now, Sydney Brett. Welcome to the show, Sydney.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself. Now, you're only 14 years old,
Yeah.
and you've been one of our youth heroes in the past, but explain a little bit why you do what you do.
Well, I like doing community service because I like giving back to others that don't have as much as I have. And I work with different charities, and I would like to start my own nonprofit organization and want to focus on anti-bullying because I've been bullied before and I want to just spread awareness.
How's it like being bullied? I mean, what's that feeling like, and how did you handle it? Because that, in a sense, is what you want to do, right? You want to help others that have been bullied. But how's that feeling for you when you were bullied?
Not good. There's not like specific words like I have to describe it, but not a good experience.
And talk about when you were bullied, what did you do about it? What did the school do about it?
Well, I was bullied when I was in elementary school by my peers and my teachers, and also verbally and physically. And the school didn't handle it in a very good way. That's why I didn't go to my district's middle school. I went to a private school in Queens, and then it was my decision to go back to high school in my town. So I'm there now, and I've still gotten bullied, but they don't handle it in the best way that they could, but it's all right.
Right. Well, what would be your suggestion? I mean, you as a victim, of this stuff, you have some thoughts about, how it can be addressed? What you might think is a good way to address it for the school system, or not even for other kids or the bullies, but, for the institutions like the schools that you're in. Do you think that there's some way that they can handle it that would be satisfying to you as a victim?
Well, I think every school should have a code of conduct or rules that they follow of if an incident happens, what they should do and what the punishment is for the kids. I also think, because sometimes when you, I don't want to say the word tell on the bully or tattletale, but if you do that, it
Right.
is a
Makes
bigger
it worse.
issue. So I think you could write letters and it could be anonymous.
Well,
Okay, yeah, I understand that part that you're saying.
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it, you know, getting into further things, you don't want to say something, there's a certain fear factor
Right,
in that.
right. Yeah, we talk about, you know, on the show, we're going to talk about in the future about why people do certain things, but since you're a bully, you can use that experience to help others, and that's great. And we're going to see a little video of yourself in a few minutes, but we just met recently again because I was doing some work at Long Island Cares with some other students from Freeport, and you came in there, you were there already volunteering. Why is volunteer work so important for you?
I don't know. I just really have a passion. I like doing it because, like I said, like not as many people have what I have, and I'm thankful to have a roof over my head and a meal every day. So I just think it's important to give back.
Yeah, it's so important to give back, and you're giving us back a little something right now because you put a video together, and I want everybody to see this video because you put it together. It's
Yeah.
all your work, and it's unbelievable. We're so happy that you're on the show today. So let's check out Sydney Brett's video, and you're only 14 years old, but you're going to be 15 real soon, right?
Yeah, I'm the 20th.
All right, let's check this video out.
The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others, and that's just what I do best by volunteering for the Ronald McDonald House of Long Island. Long Island Cares, triple negative breast cancer, and so much more. By doing community service, I have received the Bronze, Silver, and Gold Volunteer Service Award recognized from Barack Obama. I have also received a citation from the town of Hempstead, a proclamation from Senator Todd Kaminsky, and the honor to be a youth hero for Chapters Rap. When I am not giving back to others, you can find me on the dance floor or walking in fashion shows and modeling, as well as acting and doing pageants. I do all this while maintaining a straight A average while having dyslexia, but I don't let that get in the way of my hopes and dreams for the future. In the future, I want to get today's youth involved in doing community service and hopefully one day to have my own nonprofit organization. From Lido Beach, New York, the heart of Long Island, I am Sydney Brett.
That is wonderful work that you do. How do you have
Thank
the
you.
time to do all that?
Well, I'm really busy, but I try to fit in like as much community service that I possibly can in my schedule, even if it's just like a couple hours here and there.
Well, I see that you're busy. I'm so glad you're able to come in today's show. You're so busy, but this is great. But, you know, after the break here, we're going to talk about suicide prevention. What's your thoughts about suicide? I know the town that you live in have gone through some recent people that was died because of suicide. So talk about that, how it affect you and the other students in the school.
I would say that not that many kids in the school and myself know about these ongoing issues because the schools don't really address the problems that are occurring, and I think they should, because if someone else in the school and say they had a discussion in school and told us what was going on, someone else could relate to what's happening and know that it's not always suicide is not always the answer.
Right, right.
That there's other ways to get help.
Yeah, it's such wise thoughts for such a young person.
Yeah,
And
really.
you have Brian, doesn't she have a bright future ahead of her?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a lot of wisdom in a youngster like that. It's unusual to see.
Yeah, and you want to start your own agency up, so I hope once you start this agency up, you remember us here back on the
That's right,
TV.
yeah.
You're not going to forget about us, are
No,
you?
I won't.
All right, because we're not going to forget about you. And you're going to come back on the show?
Yes.
Promise? A deal?
Yes.
That's right.
All
yeah,
right,
love
cool.
to have you.
Sydney Brett from Lido Beach, 14 years old, our youth hero today, here on the Chapters Rap. And after the break, we're going to have a roundtable discussion on suicide prevention.
every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail center. Horsehair and microfiber brushes and mitts. Proudly using Ecolab Blue Coral soaps and waxes. Formula Auto Wash has served the community for over 30 years. Senior discounts all day, every day. Ladies' Day Wednesday, $3 off any wash. Early bird discount Monday through Thursday till 9:30 a.m. Check out our website, formulaautowash.com.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Galaxy Luxury Coach is a full-service limousine and party bus company. Family-owned and operated, we are an industry leader with over 25 years of experience in providing best-in-class luxury transportation for your special event. Whether it's your precious wedding day, an all-day wine tour out east, your high school prom, that special birthday, or just an amazing night on the town, our professional chauffeurs stand ready to ensure your special event is truly special. Galaxy Luxury Coach has one of the largest and modern party bus fleets in the
We're back here on the Chapters Wrap. Brian, so far so good. We're doing it, man.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's going good. We had Sydney Brett, and she's back on the stage with us here. And we have Teresa Busey, Linda Rossi, and Jackie Gay here. And we're going to be talking about suicide prevention. And Linda, I want to start with you. You have an organization called Chrissy's Wish. And talk to everybody about why you started that organization.
Well, Chrissy died July 25th, 2006, suffered with depression and bipolar disorder. When she died, my husband went back to the house and found over 150 books that Chrissy was reading, highlighting, and at that point I just looked at everything and said, we know we have to do something. We have got to find the answer that Chrissy was looking for. And so that became our quest. So within 2 weeks, we called the National Mental Health Association, got in touch with them and asked them, what can we do? We wanted an organization where 100% of the money goes to directly to mental health research, and that was Brain and Behavior Research Foundation. To date, we've raised over $565,000 for mental health research, and we continue to do that work.
How do you do? I'm always amazed, and Brian too, I'm always amazed when people go through adversity, like a loss of a daughter. How do you move on from there?
You don't ever move on. What you do is you find a new way. And the way is that I would not allow my daughter's death or her life to be in vain. So I knew that I had to do something. One, because I do have other children, and I've got to make sure that they were going to be okay. They're watching their parents. They're looking to see how we react. So my reaction, my husband's reaction, is going to be what they'll follow.
You recall.
So that's why we do what we do.
All right, we're going to take a quick call here. Hello, you're live on the air on the Chapters Wrap here.
Hi.
How are you? What's your name?
Laura Terrio. I work at the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation, and that is the foundation that Linda and Mario Rossi have raised funds to support research.
Yes.
And explain a little bit, real brief, what you do over there and the kind of people Linda and Mario are.
Okay. So I had the pleasure of meeting Linda and Mario at the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation fundraiser in New York City 10 years ago. The Rossi family is such an inspiration to so many. Their dedication to honor their daughter, Chrissy's life, and to help spread the word about mental illness has touched so many. Despite their grief and sadness that consumed their hearts following the loss of their daughter, they took this pain and used it as fuel to help other families that are facing the challenges of mental illness. Those living in silence because of the fear of judgment surrounding mental illness. This family is a part of the solution, connecting community members to helpful resources. They want so much to help to end the stigma surrounding mental illness. So the Rossi family has spent the last 10 years raising funds to support research for mental illness to honor their daughter, Chrissy's wish. And her wish was to find better treatments, prevention, and a cure for mental illness.
Well, we want to thank you so very much for calling in. We're short on time, but to have you say what you just said is just a support of what the Chrissy's Wish Foundation does. Thank you so very much for calling in.
Very welcome. Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Jackie, talk about your situation. I know that you lost your son, and talk about how that affected you and why you felt it important to come on the show today.
Well, I lost my son 10 months ago. I would say 3.5 years ago, my son got physically ill, and really the physical illness sort of morphed into a mental illness. And I'm here because of the same reason that you're here. I don't want my son's death to be meaningless. I have a foundation also I'm working on called the Daniel's Dream Foundation. In his journals, my son Daniel spoke about when he recovered, he wanted to do something great, for other students, young people who suffered with depression, physical illness, bullying. He always took the underdog side. He had made jokes with kids, to try to make them feel better. And the fact is that with the best of treatment, this is a very intricate, complex situation. It's not any one factor that led to the death of my son. Suicide was the means of my son's death, but it was not the cause. Certainly there was bullying, there was depression, there was physical illness, there's hereditary factors. His father actually had 2 people in his family commit suicide in generations prior, so he had actually a much higher risk of death by suicide than other people. So when I would go to the psychiatrist, the neurologist, I'm also a licensed clinical social worker, so I would always give the whole history right away and say, listen, this child has a higher risk in addition to the psychosocial issues. He had the physical issues. So, people simplify suicide by saying it's this, it's that, but it's not that simple. One thing is not enough to push someone into taking their own life. It's a very complicated situation, and I agree, we need more research, a lot more brain research, and I think also people really need to begin to talk openly, and that's why I'm here. I am not ashamed of my son or what he did. My son died by suicide, but he lived a life of love. He was very loving, very creative, very artistic. So my son is not, you know, we don't have the big S on him. You know, just like someone who dies from cancer, you know, we don't say they committed cancer. So I say my son died from suicide, and, you know, with all of the different factors that went into it. So our foundation also is going to be focusing on, you know, getting rid of the stigma, having people, you know, be able to talk about this. It's kind of, it's really inexcusable that people can keep saying, well, people are afraid, people don't want to talk about this. Well, you know what? That's too bad. I mean, you have to tread lightly, I understand, but, you know, first, I can remember my grandparents. First it was, you know, whispering, oh, Uncle Johnny died from consumption. This is all, you know, this is way back.
Way back.
Right, because, and was that, they wouldn't say alcohol, but the consumption, what did they call it after consumption? It was the big C.
Right.
And then finally, people were able to say, I have cancer. So this has got to happen with suicide. You know, it has to go from, you know, whispering, and in the newspaper, they said my son died by accident. So the kids are like, wow, if I fall in the shower, am I going to die by accident? I wanted it to be clear. My son fought a valiant fight for recovery, and it didn't work.
Yeah, you would have
It
to
didn't
admit.
work.
You'd have to admit, though, that even you mentioned that people were afraid to get involved, to have an awareness, and is that you have to understand that those people are battling something as well.
Well, their
fear
own
holds you
fears.
back from
Well,
a
you know,
lot.
I'll tell you the
A
truth.
lot of
In
things.
the 80s, I was working in drug rehab, and it was the beginning of the AIDS, you know, epidemic. And, you know, people were all whispering about, we had HIV support groups, and they were like, people would go in the back door for the HIV support groups, and, you know, it was the same thing. Now we see Magic and Cookie Johnson, you know, and they're talking that he's alive. You know, people are living with HIV.
I
It's
agree
the
with
same
you.
thing.
Well, I agree with you
mean,
that
it's,
people
you know, it's
should
not going to
get by
rub
their
off.
fear.
You know, my son's illness wouldn't have rubbed off on. It didn't rub off on me.
I understand.
You know, I
And I
guess what
understand the
you're saying
concept
about
is,
the
you know,
fear.
that yes, you're
But,
right.
you know,
People should get, you know, or you'd like them to get past that fear to keep the momentum of awareness going.
But there's
you know.
also a fear that
But
if you talk about it, you're
Right.
going to think
Manifest
about
it.
That, like, if
Well,
we go into...
I have the same problem, believe me, and I told Steve that before we met with you all.
Okay.
Is that, you know, I had an experience whereby I was on the other side, and I don't even know how much I wanted to talk about that. You remember me saying?
Yes, yes.
right?
Well,
Because I didn't want it to appear to be attractive in any way.
Right.
Okay?
But it's only attractive.
My story's my story, you know, and that it's a little bit disconnected. I was just addressing the fear factor. And I wanted to ask Teresa, is it?
Yes.
From the,
Teresa Busey is Associate Executive Director of Long Island Crisis.
yeah, I wanted to ask you a question. Many people are becoming more aware because of the efforts of you all, but there's still that fear factor. They as an outsider, they may not want to get involved or intervene in any way. They may see something that, you know, alerts them to something, but they still have to get past their own fears to get involved. Is there anything that the Crisis Center offers to people in general, I suppose, to you know, to kind of validate their concerns and give them some options as far as contributing in some way?
Absolutely. Long Island Crisis Center is Nassau County's 24/7 crisis intervention suicide prevention center. And we, our hotlines, we have 20 hotlines that are staffed 24/7, every 365 days a year by volunteers who go through about 250 hours of training before they're allowed to answer the phones. They're people who are there because they want to be there, because they care about other people. And we do get a lot of calls from people who are thinking about suicide. We also get a lot of calls from people who are concerned about somebody that they think may be thinking about suicide.
Right.
And a lot of what we do is education, where we'll talk to a third party and we will tell them how to approach somebody that they think may be at risk for suicide. And one of the first things we say to them is, don't be afraid to use the word suicide. Do not be afraid to say, are you thinking of suicide? Do not be afraid to say, are you thinking of killing yourself? Don't say hurting yourself. That means you're afraid to use the strong words. It also can mean something very different in this day and age with self-injury being such a big, big deal. We also do talk about reducing the stigma. One of the big things we do is our community education department, where we go into schools and we do workshops in the usually health classes in middle schools and high schools around suicide prevention. And a big thing that we do is we talk to the students about what to do if they have a friend that they think may be thinking about suicide. And we talk to them about breaking that deadly secret. If you have a friend who's thinking about suicide, you need to tell someone, even if it means your friend is, it may ruin the friendship temporarily, but you always have the chance to rebuild that friendship. If you don't do something and God forbid something happens, you're not going to
I
have
think
that.
that's the explanation people would be looking for. In other words, that would tell them that their fear, getting past their fear is worthwhile. It's worth it to make the mistake as opposed to letting it go.
Err on the side of caution.
And I'm so sorry.
Never,
'cause-
if someone says, I want, never take someone, my son once told me, I want to take my life, and I said, that's how you feel, we're gonna go right to the hospital, mommy's gonna take care of you. Exactly what I said. I said, that's okay, we'll go to the hospital and we'll be okay.
Right.
And
Well, I'm so sorry. We only have like a minute left, but where do we go from here, ladies? Where do we go? Sydney, where do we go from here so people know how to help in any way?
Well, they can reach out to Chrissy's Wish. It's Chrissy, ChrissysWish.com. They can call us. If they go on to the website, we're always available. I've got a lot of different things on the hotline about helping, different, such as Long Island Crisis Center is on there, AFSP, NAMI, a number of things. So if anybody needs assistance, we're always available.
Right.
I have the Danny's Dream Foundation, and we're dannysdream.org, and we'll be working with the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. We're going to be walking on the October 23rd for suicide awareness. We have over 60 people so far walking with us.
Wonderful.
From our community, and we want our faces to be seen. And I have a photographer who's going to be coming, and hopefully we'll get in the local paper so that kids see that grown-ups or even adults see that people care, and that I am not ashamed to be associated with this issue.
No, it's
And
a
then if
cause
you-
that needs to be heard.
Absolutely.
And addressed.
Teresa, what's your last thought here?
People can certainly reach out to our agency. Our website is longislandcrisiscenter.org. Our hotline number, which is, once again, is available 24/7, is 516-679-1111. We also have a walk every September in Long Beach on the boardwalk. It's called Let's Walk, Let's Talk. It's to raise awareness about suicide prevention so that people, once again, destigmatizing is the key, and that's, I think all of us are trying to do that together.
And open up the conversation.
Yeah, we apologize for the shortness in time. It's our
Okay.
first show, so we want to really thank you for coming on. But
You're very
what do you think about Sydney?
Thank you.
We're very proud of her.
Very.
Thank
You're
you.
doing a great job, Sydney. You keep it up.
Yes.
Thank
It's
you.
terrific.
And we're here for you too. You know, that's the thing. The grown-ups,
An inspiration
you
for
She
are
is.
always grown-ups are here for you, and that's what we want to tell all of the kids.
Absolutely.
That you have to reach out. You know, if you're having those thoughts or feelings, or people are pushing you around or hurting you, reach out. Find somebody safe, somebody who's saying that we want to help. You know, there's a lot of people who are afraid. Don't go to them. Go to the people that you
will
see who are willing to help, and you know your guts are going to tell you who's willing and who's not.
Well, thank you so very much.
You're
And
very welcome.
almost out of time here. We're going to take a quick break. And after the break, taking us home will be Scott Martin and his beautiful music. Stay tuned.
I'll take him. I would be proud to show you off, you little old weirdo man.
Get a new sweater. The worst dressed man here tonight. Right? Look, get that laugh, and get it in there tonight because nobody else is gonna laugh like her. She's under drugs, all right?
Thank everybody that tuned in today for our first show, but taking us home will be Mr. Scott Martin and his beautiful music. Enjoy.
You know you already want a Toyota, but when you want more from your Toyota store, you want Smithtown Toyota, where every Toyota comes with Smithtown Toyota's Toyota for Life program, giving you lifetime New York State inspections, lifetime 10%.
Such a bright star, it's such a sad tune. What kind of love do you want? Twisted and tangled up, my blood broke my song to light your way. Let it control you till it consumes you. Let it engulf you just like it used to. it your way. What kind of love do you want? Someone who carries you from the dark to the light of day. What kind of love do you want? Someone who carries you from the dark to the light of day. Light of day. Light of day. Light of day.